Hi, this is Jeffrey Kerr Financial Group. Today is Monday, February 2, 2026. We had Punxsutawney Phil tell us we've got 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know whether he made any comments on the financial markets, but there's certainly a lot of stuff going on. It would take us probably 15, 20 minutes to discuss it all. So, but we also have 45-second attention spans anymore. That's on a good day. If you're at night watching this, maybe you got, like me, 30 seconds of attention span. In any case, let's get into it. The markets for the month of January were up slightly. Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, all up a little bit, about 1%. But the Russell was up over 5%. But the Russell last week was down 2%. And then you had, basically a crash in silver on Friday. It was down over 25% in one day. Gold had a rough week at the end of the week as well. Cryptocurrency just can't catch a bid. They are in a free fall right now. So what's going on? There's some narratives out there about Kevin Warsh, the new nominee for the Fed chair, and what he brings and what he means and all that. Hear a lot of stuff about strong dollar. That's unclear. I think there's just some other things going on. As I mentioned on Friday's video, for his background, he looks like be a real smart guy and a guy who's been dealing with markets. So, it's quite a few months before we get there. This week, a lot of news and earnings. The news primarily will be on unemployment, with the jobs data for the month of December coming out on Friday morning. Another piece I think is pretty interesting from this morning was the ISM, which was above 50. And 50 delineates between recession and growth. Being above 50 is a good sign. And it was a pretty big jump. So again, this could be another sign that the economy is going to have a pretty good stretch here. And again, I've been saying I think the first quarter is going to be good for both the economy and the stock market. Now, that doesn't mean we can't have these volatility events like we had at the end of last week, and especially like in the silver market. But like if you look back, there's been several occasions in 2025 where these were just short-term events. October 10th, the Dow was down 1,000 points in a day, and that was it. And the stock market rebounded after that. The beginning of December, was a rough patch, but we got through it and had a good end of the year. So, we'll see. There's a lot of moving parts here. I didn't mention this, but South Korea was down over 5% last week. Another, kind of a blemish here and something to keep an eye on. So we'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Let us know any questions. A lot of stuff going on. If we can help at all, let us know. Thank you again. Goodbye.